down here. Now, our first initial story was not as smooth, and I wish we had met Sandro and the Bridge Consulting Company much earlier. So I'm going to tell you guys just a little bit of a cluster I guess, of how it went for us the first time. When we came down here, 2 of the lawyers abandoned us, even though we paid them. So I had to use AI Google, and I had to use every single source of lawyers that I could find because they abandoned us in the middle of it. We were just a number. We paid our fees. And after that, they didn't want to deal with us. And fortunately, now that we are applying for a new visa and switching over on other things, we found the Bridge Consulting with Sandro Presta. And honestly, it has been day and night. This is the concierge service of relocating to the United States. And I know you guys have asked me what avenues we took, how we did it, and we're going to discuss all of this. And I also have your guys' comments going up live on here. So I have already gone through a lot of the comments today on my video, which is doing pretty well on other things. So I couldn't get to all of the comments because there's about 3,000 with all of the social media I've got going on. So I just wanted to say hello, everybody. And tonight we will be answering those much needed questions. I know everyone's listening from coast to coast, and I'm really thankful that you guys are here. But I just guess I wanted Sandro to kind of introduce himself and introduce his company and how he got into this and what brought him to this, because I've already signed up, by the way, 3 people, I'm included. I literally don't promote anything on my pages unless I've used it or believe in it. And so we're using the Bridge Consulting Services right now. And I can say by far, the customer service has been absolutely amazing. So Sandro, please tell my audience basically what got you into this and why you started this company and how you're helping Canadians come down to the United States.
So let's start. Basically, it's my company with Anthony as my partner. We're both in it together, just letting you know that. It's 2 of us. He's in Florida. I'm in Texas, Dallas, Texas. And the way the company started was through my personal experiences and how I was able to get down to the States properly, legally, and through the channels that I had to go through. So it took us 4.5 years to get down here. Through that time, I went through hell and back. Let's just say.
I totally understand that.
She thinks hers was hard. Mine was extremely hard. Okay. The amount of lawyer consultations I had to talk to, 30-minute windows, not being able to get the right information, wasting money on that, wasting money on the wrong lawyers, not getting the right guidance, then trying to find a mortgage, then trying to get your money converted, then trying to get everything, trying to get a bank account was one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. And it was that spark in my experiences of hell that I thought, you know what? People should have an easier and smooth transition on how to get down here properly with real guidance. And that never existed before, this real guidance. So we decided that we would build this company up through proper channels, the right guidance, the right people that are able to bring you down here like a white glove service that I never experienced. Pretty much my struggle is your gain at the end of the day, if you think about it. But that's our major story and how it all came to fruition and where we are today. We're really happy with the people that we've helped so far. Tajana, I honestly am so happy that we've been able to help her so far in the transition. And, you know, I'm so blessed to be able to be around people like us, like Tajana, and who actually believe in us and see the value that we have.
Oh, absolutely. Like the minute I met him and Anthony, it was white glove service. I'm telling you, like I would be paying lawyers for 30 minutes just to get one answer out of everything. And then I get to meet Sandro and Anthony, and they're helping me set up businesses, everything legally, pathway. They're walking me through things. If I have a question, I can text either one of them and they'll answer it for me right away. They have lawyers, they've got mortgage brokers, because a lot of people, what they don't understand, and this was a learning lesson for me, is when you get down to the United States, your credit score goes to zero. Like, you do not have a credit score. You can't bring it in from Canada to the United States. Some people will tell you that you can, but you can't. There are certain rental places that might allow it, but you're going to have to go through hoops and so forth. And so with Sandro, it was like one-stop shop. It was absolute concierge service for coming down here. If we need a mortgage, I don't even go to the banks. I just go to Sandro. Sandro has banks lined up for all of us. And if I need a business setup, if I need a business license, if we need lawyers, and I'm talking business lawyers, immigration lawyers, accountants, I mean, the level of service is absolutely insane. And because so many of us have kind of done it just like you, with trial and error, you know, the fact that you actually saw a business model in this was absolutely amazing. And so if you guys want to check out his website, it is on my link tree. If you guys go to my link tree, it will be the first one there. We will also discuss a lot of the services that he has. And so I know a lot of you guys were wondering certain ways and certain avenues on how to get to the United States. And I believe the easiest way is through business acquisition or moving businesses to Canada. But you also know a lot more other avenues than I do. Those are the avenues that kind of my husband and I took. But could you tell my audience possibly the other kind of avenues that they have available to them to moving to the United States legally? And I know a lot of Americans got mad at me because they thought I was bringing in like the liberals who don't want to work. That's not the case at all. Like, we're not bringing in, you know, useless people who will live off the system. It's actually quite the opposite. Our visas, Canadian visas, are actually very strict, very, very strict for Canadians. So you either have to be contributing to the economy and to the American workforce, or you're not coming down here. So do you know any other avenues that people can take?
Yeah. So first off, we're very proactive for the U.S. government. Our lawyers are direct with ICE, actually, and they are looking at us as a very proactive company to bring viable people into the States to build the economy up. So we don't have people who are freeloaders that come into the States. We have a strict, rigorous process to like vet like people coming through, and we figure out exactly and build a blueprint to where you're able to get down here. And hopefully, usually we end up getting a proper blueprint for you, which visa is going to tie into you and how it's going to work. So the way it is that we talk it through. We have a great consultation meeting. We literally break down every avenue and every road in order to get you down here. So whether it's either getting a sponsorship through a family member, which is either a mother, father, sister, brother, takes years, takes 15 years. So you want to wait that long. That is one avenue. Another way is having your business already been operating back in Canada for more than 3 years, showing financials and paying your taxes. That is one route to get and opening up a company in the States. Another route is buying a business, a turnkey business that has its financials already tied to the business, shows that they've been paying their taxes, shows that they've been showing their financials for over a year they've been in business. That is one of the easiest routes, but a lot of people don't have the money to actually front up, as we call it, risk of funds. So if you show risk of funds to the US government, they see that as, okay, that's fine. This is perfect. This is one avenue, one aspect to get down here, to buy the business, run the business, hire Americans. That grants you access to get into the States. You could potentially even do the other route of this type of visa, where you can create a visa, create a business. Well, in that case, you have a problem because it's going to take a lot longer. It's going to cost more for business plans. Show them future financials that don't exist at the moment. That is one route. It takes time. People want to do it. That's great. We have that option. Another option could be if you have an extraordinary ability, doctor, lawyer, you name it. Those are eligible to come in. There's a list in that case, right? But in general, that's what we do. We basically scrutinize every little aspect and try to figure out where you guys are going to fit and how you're going to get down here. We don't look at you and say one type of visa. There's multiple visas where you can go where people don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of reasons that people don't know, that a lot of people don't have the avenue for. And
That's
because this is such a personalized business, it's such a personalized thing. A lot of people will, book a consultation with you. They'll pay the consultation fee, and then you guys can tell your entire situation.
That's right.
And then the lawyers and Anthony and Sandro can all together work with you to kind of find the best way, the legal avenue in which way you guys can obtain a visa down here. Even if it takes a little bit longer, if your funds are not in it, a lot of people are also selling, their homes, moving into Airbnbs, using that equity to buy businesses in the United States. That's what we did. We sold our business and our house. And so there's a lot of different avenues. Everything is very, I should say, personalized.
Absolutely. When it comes to everybody has their own situation. Everybody has their own type of problems or that they want to relate. But the one thing I have to explain is the psychological aspect of everything. Let me explain something to you. A lot of people don't realize how much goes into moving to a new country, uprooting everything, and literally, you have your mindset up there that you hate your life there at that moment. You can't stand living there, and we all understand that. But there's that psychological aspect to say, well, okay, that's great. Let's build this up for you. Now you have to understand, this is a whole new world. Brand new world, depending on which state you go to. In this case, you have to be ready for that. We suggest most time, if you, let's say you have this idea of Texas, come to Texas, visit Texas, see it with your own eyes, feel it out. Maybe you may not like it. Maybe you may like a different state, but get ready that once the ball starts rolling, trust me when I tell you, our services, the way we work, we'll get you down here fast, legal, and we'll make sure that it gets done proper. Because once the ball rolls, game over. You guys are in here. That's it.
Absolutely. And I introduced you to a couple that used you guys, and they weren't even sure if they wanted to move their business or open up another business down here in the United States. And within a week, they pretty much were like, oh, I guess we're moving to Texas. And so what I would definitely suggest is first do a lot of research on where you would like to go, where your personality kind of, matches
together.
Exactly. Because I wouldn't suggest California from Canada, because you're just getting a broken Canada. I'm sorry, California. I know there's a lot of great people and a lot of conservatives in California, but if you want to get away from the taxation and the over-regulation, like California would definitely not be one of those states. I would avoid New York City now, because that's going to be Canada 2.0. Unfortunately, I don't know if they know that, but probably worse. So what you want to do is you make sure, because every state in the U.S. is like its own little country.
Oh my God, yeah.
Own little accents, everything. Like everything is so different, but it's so amazing. But you guys will also find that Americans are extremely helpful. Have you noticed that?
I'm going to be very straightforward.
Yeah.
See, the problem with Canada is, and when we were up there, is that the amount of propaganda we were fed up there about Americans are this, Americans that. Oh my God, it's so dangerous. It's a lie. I'm going to be very straight. It's a lie.
It's a lie.
I'm going to be very straight on this. Explain to me, how were we able to buy a home, a big home, with no problem, with a 30% down payment, which by the way, that's how we work. With a 30% down payment, you're able to get a mortgage in the States. In 24 hours, you get a contemporary, a proper mortgage with an A lender bank, and you're able to go that route. No problem, no credit, no work history, no nothing. Now, how can we do it? We did it. That's how it works here, right? In Canada, you need 20%. 20% on a $1.2, $1.5 million home. How are you going to do that?
Exactly. Yeah. The homes down here are way cheaper.
Oh my God.
So much cheaper.
I bought a house. It's $385,000, 3,100 square feet, half an acre lot, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms.
That would be probably like what in Toronto? Like
at least 1.4, 1.5, probably more.
Yeah,
Depends.
probably more.
Yeah.
And another thing, I know there is a lot of propaganda that the United States isn't safe and so forth. Let me tell you, like we've been to Houston. I had people say good morning to me downtown Houston.
Absolutely.
I
love that.
I know. I've never had that downtown Toronto or downtown Vancouver. I've had it in smaller towns, like the minute you go outside. But a lot of people have this like preconception of Americans, like that is so totally wrong.
I've never had anyone say yes, sir, yes, ma'am to my wife.
Yeah.
More than I've ever heard down here.
Absolutely, the politeness, and then also if you get into like a group of I guess business people or like small businesses, they will help you out. They are so good at pushing and helping each other out, pushing each other's businesses out, really working together because they want you to succeed. Your success is the United States success, and it also contributes to the GDP.
That's right.
And as I said in my video today, 43% of small businesses and mid-sized businesses contribute to the GDP of the United States. And it's what makes the United States so strong economically. And unfortunately, Canada used to have 50%. But since the Liberals have come in, it's gone down to 30%.
That's right.
And that is why the economy is slowly withering away, and they're trying to fill those positions with government jobs. Unfortunately, letting the government do anything, that's like
you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, you're not going to get anywhere. No. And so, I mean, it kind of hurts to see Canadians, kind of shit on Americans, because they have been nothing but more than welcoming. And the sad part is they apologize to me. They're like, we're so sorry for what we're doing to Canada. I'm like, no, put more tariffs on. Fuck them. Absolutely. Like, let's literally light a fire under the Liberals' ass to open up the economy, to be more capitalistic, to be more innovative. And I know a lot of you get mad at me when I say, oh, Canada's not innovative, but if you look at what they've done to Edison Motors, we could have had the Tesla, the Canadian version of Tesla, and Edison Motors even better had the Canadian government not tried to stifle their entire invention and their entire company. And that is the one thing that I really appreciate about Americans down here is they love innovation, they love competition.
They love people that are small businesses, and they want to prop you up. That's what I realized over here. When I explained it, I went to the Chambers of Commerce over here in McKinney, and when I explained them my business model and how I want to help Canadians move them down here legally, do you understand the amount of people that were coming up to me and saying, oh, how can I help? Oh, how can I help build your business? Do you need this? Do you need this? Do you need that? And I'm like, yes, thank you. Yep. Like, yes.
You know what the cool part is? For a month, I've been going to business lawyers, and I'm like, I need this model, I need this, I need this. And they're like, well, it's going to be this much. It's going to be this much. It's going to be this much. Literally, I get hooked up with Sandro and Anthony. They did it for me in 5 minutes. And then when I got my letter, and when I got my letter, like for the business everything being good, I've got my tax number, everything, the government called me and congratulated me and hoped and wished that I could really do well in it. I had goosebumps. The minute I answered that phone call, I was like, what is this? Is this a scam call? And she's like, no, we're from the government. We see that you've opened up a new business. We wish you all the best in ventures. And we're wondering what else you need for our help in order for you to succeed so that we succeed. And I was speechless. I almost started crying on the phone. I was like, what is this? Because I've had businesses in Canada and it was loophole through loophole. You're fighting the city hall for this, for that. Down here, it's like, oh, welcome. Like, we hope you're this. And the minute you get in with like-minded business people in the business that you're in, they're like, how can I help? Oh, can you start working tomorrow? And it's
feels amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even have the permits yet, but I already have the customers and everything's rolling. And you guys made that so much smoother, because trying to chase lawyers was a nightmare. And you know that because it's 4 years.
I know.
Right? Exactly.
I know.
And so I come to you guys and you guys are like, oh, we have a lawyer, we've got a business lawyer, we've got this, we've got that. Do you need money? Because we've got banks ready. And the reason why banks are coming in is because they can see that Canada is failing. I'll be honest with you.
They want to capitalize on that.
And they want to capitalize. They want you guys to capitalize, and they're seeing that Canada is a sinking ship, and they want you guys to come down here to start these businesses or to bring your businesses from Canada down to the United States. Why? Because they're very pro-business and very capitalistic here. And that's the one thing that I also, kind of mentioned today with you guys is, the United States is so much different. It is so much different when it comes to people who actually want to make it work and other things. So I was going to ask you, what are some of the, I have a lot of questions about retirees. Do you know if retirees have a pathway of coming into the States?
See, the thing with retirees, I talked to a couple this morning. We had a Zoom meeting, and I tried to explain to them that for retirees, there's no real visa that you're able to be attached to that. There's no path for that, but there is a way that if they liquidate everything up there and their kids are old enough, they can basically go down the route of a path for a business, like purchasing a business and they are the primary, and their children will be the primary, and they're the secondary attached to the business according to get into the States. That is one path for them. Now, in terms of healthcare coverage, again, it's a la carte here. Like, you can't expect, you have to understand something. The mindset over here about healthcare is that you think up there it's free because it's not direct, but because the cost of living and everything down here is a lot cheaper, and your money goes a long way, you can allocate your money properly, and you can get things a la carte for what you need, right?
Yes.
In terms of healthcare. And the healthcare coverage here, by the way, hands down destroys Canadian healthcare.
Oh,
like,
huge.
You will get seen instantly over there.
Oh yeah,
instantly.
When I hurt my knee, I literally went in. They had a CT scan and everything, and I was out in an hour. And people were saying, "Oh, you're going to get more bills in the end." No, I paid $900. That was it. I came in, paid $900, got my CT scan, was seen by a doctor. Everything's fine. Another time, I went to the doctor. They were like $120. Got seen right away, got what I needed, and haven't been back since. And that's it.
That's pretty much it at that point.
Like, if you're healthy and you don't really need the insurance, if you have out of pocket, you can allocate your money out of pocket. You can still go see a doctor privately. They will see you right away. And like, a lot of people don't understand just how much money we pay in taxes towards healthcare. It's almost $16,000 per person.
It's disgusting. I'm going to be
a year. Like,
it's,
you know what
it's
I mean?
Unbelievable. People up there, I've had people ask me like, "Oh, but we have this, we have that." I said, listen, you're getting raped with all the taxes up there. Overall, you're not going to survive, especially what's coming next with the government, because it seems to me that every month there's something new going to be attached to the way you're living up there. Like, either they're going to put a new tax on you or whatnot. It's disgusting. And honestly, we're getting flooded with people just say, "Listen, we'll find a way. We need a way to get down here. Help us out." And that's why we created this company, so we can. We are literally front and center. The way we work is like this. You get a meeting with us. We talk to you one-on-one. Could be longer than 45 minutes for all we know at this point, right? Depends on how you are. And then if you love the way we are and we built you out a proper blueprint, then we get you within a lawyer within 24 hours, 48 hours, let's say, for instance. And that is right off the bat. She knew that. I was like, quick.
This was the quickest thing ever. Usually you have to call a lawyer. You can't see them for a month or two because they're so booked up ahead. With these guys, it was like, we had our consultation fee, we paid it, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to talk to the lawyer tomorrow and let him know what your plan is so that he can say if it's good or not?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And so literally the next day we're Zoom.
I'm always on the Zoom calls with them.
Yeah.
Always.
And so he literally, when I tell you, like, Sandro, he will be with you every step of the way so that he knows what the lawyer is saying and that he's always up to date with all of the clients. And so that when you text him and you have a question, he knows exactly what's happening. It's not, there's no miscommunication or, "Hold on, I have to go and ask the lawyer what this was about, or I have to ask this guy." No, they're so involved. It's almost for the people, by the people. And I've never seen anything like this before in my entire life, which is why, like, the principles that you guys run on is basically for the people, by the people.
Absolutely.
And because you've gone through this process, and so have I, you know exactly what is needed. And so you're not guessing. And you also take the time. And when I say they take the time personally, like, yes, you pay for the consultation fee, but it's not like, 30 minutes, we're going to kick you out. They will sit there with you. They will listen to everything that you have to say. And that consultation fee then goes towards.
So the way the consultation fee works is, it's like anything with a job. We put our time into it. We give you all of our expertise and our time, and we prioritize that time for you. What we do is we break everything down. We get to know your personality. We figure out how we're able to get you down here, if there's a possible route for you at that point to get down here, right? So once a consultation fee is initiated, we get that through. We say, "Hey, great, we got a blueprint for you now. Perfect." Then that consultation fee gets deducted off our program that we get you on. Just so you know, our program, once you're on, you're here for life. Yeah. There's no extras on top of that. The only thing you're paying for is for the business license. Yeah. That's separate. We go through it together. Yeah. Just the same way with you, right? And there's no extra fees.
Exactly.
And a lot of other lawyers out there, we've noticed, tack on extra fees because they want to make more money. We don't do that. We literally have we show the screen. This is what we're doing. you're paying, and it goes directly to you at this point.
Exactly. And I noticed that because like the lawyer that I was going to use, he wanted me to pay the licensing fee, plus on top of that, another fee, plus on top of his lawyer fee.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever, you got to do what you got to do. And then I met you guys and you're like, oh no, we'll set up your business. This is how much the processing fee is. And it's because that's what the processing fee is. Like, you can't really go around that. And I was like, oh, okay. 10 minutes later, we had everything set up and they're like, oh, well, if you need online help, like if you can't figure it out, we can walk you through it.
That's right.
But I mean, it was pretty easy. I got the letter to figure it out. But if I needed you guys' help, you guys would have been there to help. And so I know you guys have a tier system as well, depending on how much help or how much you want your hand held through this process.
I can explain that.
Yeah. I wanted you to explain to the audience that you have different tiers of, do you want just a simple help, a simple, guidance, or do you want like your hand held through the entire thing, and then you guys can like do top level concierge service for people. Absolutely. So if you want to explain that as well.
So what I'm going to explain to you is we have the tier system, like first, second, third tier. It is more like a guideline, but if people want to absolutely do nothing, and I mean nothing, and just give it all to us to help out and make sure we do everything for you, we can do that. So our first tier, if you look at it, it shows flights, hotel accommodations, mortgages that you can get your mortgage down here, and we can fly you in 5 days before closing and get your hotel close proximity to where your houses are going to be. So we're able to get this whole experience for you. So you never have to worry about anything. We get your social security appointments booked, because I don't know if you know this, but to get a social security number in the States, you can't just call in or go online and say, oh, you're going to get it this week. It could be months, and far away too. Yeah. Just so you know. And then same thing with your license. To book that, and then let's say we have a timeline, 6 months for him, right? All of a sudden, okay, we're going to be this way. All of a sudden, okay, we know at this date you're going to be here. We'll book it at a week after that you're here. So it's more convenient. We have things in order. We know how the process works because we did it. And now we basically get you on board. Those tier systems have a price because essentially it's using our time. We're going out on the street, getting things done for you, right? But overall, the way the program works, if you want to do a la carte, the way it goes, just be able to use our services, like get the mortgage guy, the currency converting, getting money down to the States. First of all, the banks will charge you 2.8 to 3.5%. just their fees to come down. We're capped at 1.25. That is absolutely one of the best ones, first of all. We also can move precious metals down here. Yes. Which a lot of people have been asking for. Yes. Right?
That was the hardest thing, was moving all the money over, because you want to do it legally. Like, you don't want to do anything illegally because like the government will go through all of your stuff, right? So moving all of our money, I had to go and open up another RBC account, and the I guess what's it called? Cross-border.
Which one?
The RBC, like they've got a cross-border thing. So we had to do that. And then they were like, oh, well, why are you doing this? And you know how Canadian banks are, where they want to know, like,
stick to American. Exactly. And we will help you get American banks. We'll help you get the American area, because people have been saying, oh, we got a TD cross-border. TD. Yeah. So let me explain something to you. In terms of credit, just so you know, when you have a TD cross-border, it does nothing for your American credit.
I thought it did. Honestly, no. I thought it did, because that's what I was sold on. It didn't do anything. Like, it was just.
It will do an internal to the bank themselves to get a credit card or something in the bank of TD or Royal Bank. But if you were to go to Bank of America or Chase, that doesn't happen. They'll look at you like, well, you don't have a social. Yeah. You don't have anything tied to your credit here. So there's nothing there.
And there was so much to figuring out, like driver's licenses, how to get our trucks down here, how to import them into the country. Like, I've paid so much useless money to people who did not help me. Yeah. And then eventually I figured it out by wasting so much time, because, you're going to one place, then another place. And some of the employees down here, like, they're trying their best, and they're like, well, we've never had this. They can't do anything. Yeah, they can't do anything because it's out of their jurisdiction, right?
I went to 38 banks. You did. I went to 38 banks when I first started. When I say that my struggle is your gain, I'm not kidding you when I say that. Do you realize what I did? I came to Dallas. I tried to go to every bank to open up a bank account. I had an EIN number. No, sir, you can't do that. No, you can't do this, and you can't do that. I'm like, well, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
like, what do I do in this? So do you realize I had a friend of mine that lives in Austin, Texas, and just so you know, Dallas to Austin is about 3.5 hour drive. Okay, they hooked me up with a person in Bank of America in Austin. I had to drive 3.5 hours there just to open up a bank account.
No, dude, I totally understand. Like,
Oh.
The thing is, the United States, super everyone's so helpful. Like when I tell you everybody wants to help you, but sometimes like it's just out of their jurisdiction. They've never gone through it.
You can't blame them.
Exactly. And so you built this company basically on for the people, by the people, for your experience of coming down here. Right. And we've all had the exact same experience where we just kind of get left out in the cold with our lawyers. They don't care. Like, and you really have to be careful. There's a lot of companies now trying to take advantage as well of Canadians moving down here. So like the reason why I knew you guys were legit is because of the holding fee for the lawyer, right? Until, you know, you do a holding fee, which is normal. Some of the other ones online will ask you to pay the full fee.
That's right.
And that is illegal. Do not do that. Like, please be very careful.
They'll siphon money out of you right off the bat.
Yes.
The way we designed it with our lawyers is that you pay half now when you get to that part, not yet. When you get to the part, we figure out that you're able to get down here. They do half now and half when the job is done, because that gives you more security and it's ease of payment. You're not out of pocket right off the bat. So it makes you feel good to know that, hey, this guy's going to work for me now. He's going to get this job done.
Exactly.
One way or another, or else he's not getting paid.
Exactly. And that's his retainer fee. And a lot of other, like I've lost thousands of dollars on trying to figure out who's legit and who's not. And so that's why when I found you guys, I was like, you guys have to go on the podcast. Like, and I've been working with you guys for a couple of months now. And I was like, okay, this is legit. And so because I've been working with you now, I'm like, okay, now I trust you guys. You build like trust, you know what I mean? Because I didn't want to tell you guys, oh, this lawyer will help you, when he just siphoned like $4,000 away from me and then stopped answering my phone calls and said he couldn't help me. So they will literally tell you if you have a possibility. If you don't, then that's it. That's where it ends. Kind of, like, you know what I mean? You guys aren't going to just promise people things that you can't deliver.
No, we can't.
Like the other,
it's
like,
unethical at that point.
Exactly. And that unethical reason is why all of these other companies, eventually it will catch up to them, because you see it in their comment section where people are like, hey, red flag, like, please don't use them because they've used them. How many people have you had now, just like myself, that have been siphoned by other people that have been like, hey, these guys are a scam. Like, yeah, they're Canadian, they're in Florida or whatever, or wherever.
We don't we don't say anything in this case. We just let the proof show itself at this point. And the one thing I realized is you have to understand, we're not miracle workers, right?
Exactly.
We will make sure we can get as much as possible to get done for you. We will figure it out over time. But one thing is for sure, we're not going to take your money if we can't get the job done. If we don't see it, we're not going to say something to you just to say, hey, pay this. And then all of a sudden later on, we call you and say, by the way, can't help you.
Exactly. That is the one thing that I absolutely loved, like, about your guys' service, is if there is no way, like, for example, let's say you have a murder charge, okay? And you're like trying to get down here and you're like, oh, but I have this business and everything. They're openly going to tell you, hey, listen, like, we can't help you. You know what I mean? Like, we can go through these steps, we can try, but it's not a promise. So you're not getting something promised that will not happen. And all of the lawyers and everything that are involved are the exact same way. They're very ethical. They don't want to take your money. They actually want to help Canadians move down here, because Americans, as much as you guys like get the propaganda from them, they're actually very well aware of what's happening in the world. Like, the conservative side of Americans are actually very, very well aware of what's happening in Canada, what's happening in Europe, what's happening in the UK. And I know a lot of people don't think that because of, you know, propaganda and all of that stuff that goes around. But a lot of Americans feel for the patriotic Canadians because they can see how you guys are being stifled. They can see how you guys are being put down. Right. They can see all the taxes, the regulations, the laws that are being put in that are completely insane. Like Mark Carney saying that your freedom of speech, like America's freedom of speech, is basically infringing on Canadian safety, pretty much tells you that they want to build that wall just like they did in East and West Germany. And that wasn't so that they can separate the two. It was just to keep East Germany away from the freedom of West Germany. And that's exactly what's happening now, except it's digital. There's no walls, except they're going to put up firewalls so that you can't see what's happening in the United States, and that they can feed you the propaganda that the United States States is like dangerous and all of this other stuff, when in fact it's completely opposite of that. And I think we've kind of learned from 2020 that, you know, mainstream news media lies about almost everything. And so like that is the main reason why I wanted to have you guys on my show, is because I get thousands of messages a week across all platforms of people being like, how can I get down here? And I didn't want to give you guys any wrong direction, because at that time I was trying to figure it out myself. You know what I mean? And I got down here, but I wasted so much time and money, so many different lawyers, you know what I mean? Like it was so stressful and such a mess that now that I found you guys, I actually feel blessed. And so I'm like, I know you guys helped me. I know your ethical value. Like
I'll give an example. One of our friends that came on board and joined our program, they're looking at opening up one of their businesses in the mall here, Galleria Mall in Stonebriar. So I initially went out there myself to get the information for them. I drove out there, got the info, called her, showed her the picture of the cards. Like I will go as much as I can above and beyond to get you down here. Like for instance, if you're in Dallas, I'd love to meet you.
Yeah, we're actually, you know what the weird part is? Like, I was just your client, right?
Yes.
Next thing you know, I'm meeting his wife and his son and his mom, like, and the cat with my husband. And we're all going to Florida to actually meet the lady that signed up with us. So it's almost become like this little family of people who are now business owners down in the United States. And we want to see each other like thrive and help. And we want to push each other. So if I can help with, you know, getting the word out for my business, for your business, or like even your business right now. So it's almost like a little community of like-minded people, of expats. And it's not like, oh, well, we're done your visa. Bye. We never want to talk to you again. No, absolutely not. It's almost like this building of a little community that Sandro and Anthony have built with the Bridge Consulting Company. And it's amazing. And the reason why you guys called it the Bridge is because you're bridging the United States and Canada together in a much more smoother way. Because I swear, I feel like I swam with a dinghy through a tornado in a shark infested thing. And that's how like my process was. But now that I have you guys, the process is so much smoother, dude.
It's just easier because you guys now can rely on us for information now, right? Because you've joined the program. You say like, hey, I need this done. Can you help me out? Instant. Exactly. We're good to go.
Oh, instant. Like that was crazy. Like I asked you a question for something. I'm like, hey, whenever you have time, like I don't want to like bother you, but can you ask the lawyer if this and this is okay? Not even 5 minutes later, I have him and the lawyer answering my questions like immediately. And I was like, oh, okay, wow, well, this was quick. Like I don't even have to waste a week waiting for an answer. And so that is the main reason why I wanted you to bring on my podcast, is because I have thousands of people.
One thing I tell you right now, the way it works is we try to explain to people that if you want Canadian results, you go with the Canadian lawyer. We don't work with Canadian lawyers. We work fully American. Our lawyers are American. Our realtors are American. Relocation guides American. Everybody's American, okay? They know the areas. They know them like the back of their hands. So at the end of the day, we only work with them. We're an American-based company. So what better than having someone that's already established over here and starts giving you the right advice? So what we do is, first of all, we do not give legal advice. That's another thing.
Absolutely.
We're not legal. We are the representatives and given power by the attorney to vet and get you down here properly. So we never have anything legal in that case.
That's just for the initial
thing.
But the lawyers are legal.
And he does his due diligence on that level. Correct.
Yeah. So basically, the initial thing that you will get, or the initial appointment that you will get, will be vetted to see if there is a path for you to come down.
We call it a blueprint.
Yeah, blueprint vetting, just to kind of see which way you can. And then you go immediately, they will, if there is a way, immediately you will get to meet the lawyer, and the lawyer will go into a lot more detail and give you all of the legal advice on how to get down here. Now, I know some of you are asking what the price is. That's where the different tiers are in. If you guys want to check out their website, go to my link tree. The first link in the link tree will be Bridge Consulting, and you guys can go through the entire website to see. It's a super easy website to navigate, which by the way,
and we're redoing it right now, actually, in the meantime.
Yeah.
But I did that website myself, and I'm not a web designer at all.
No, I thought it was good because honestly, it's so easy. You get to see the tiers, you get to see what you can get, and if you want to book a consultation, you can book a consultation. The consultation fee is $250.
Yes, our consultation fee is $250. That gives you that slot and that time allocated to get your blueprint and see if there's a possible route down here. Now, we could go over sometimes, but when we're booked and we have full days, what we do is we will always reach out back. We'll give you our phone number and we'll be able to call you or talk to you at any point just to make sure that you're able to come down here properly if you didn't get all the information at that point, right? But most of the time, I'll be very straight. We always get all the information done within a 45-minute window. And we make sure that the people are comfortable and they know what they're doing and what they're going to go through.
Absolutely.
So it's that case. At that 250, the way it works is our whole program, not the tier, just you can use whatever's there, except the flights, hotels, all those. That's a whole different thing. People don't go on that unless they really, really just want to like do nothing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. They want to do nothing and say, hey guys, do everything for me. Here's the money, good to go. We haven't had many people like that. We have most of them join the program and then a la carte start going from this. So the way it goes is when you get a consultation of $250, that right off the bat gets you with us to talk one-on-one. Then if we find that you are perfect, you're able to come down here, we now ask you if you want to join the program. It is for life. So you'll always have us one way or another. We're not going to leave you. That's for sure. And it's $1,000 per adult. After that $1,000 per adult, you're in with us. Children do not get charged no matter what, because they can't utilize our services. And that's just a fact, right?
Yeah. And they're kids. Like
and they're kids. They're not going to use them. So if it's 2 adults and 2 children, it's $2,000. That $250 is deducted out of that. So it's not $2,000 plus $250, just so you know. And then when you do get with the lawyer, again, like I said, we structured it properly. We make it more attractive for you. So it's not $10,000 upfront. It is 5 retainer. And then when the job is done, it's the last half. So it makes it easier for people. But that is all going to go, towards different visas. We don't know which visa you're going to go on. We don't know how we're going to tailor it for you, but we will figure a way how to tailor it properly so that you're not going to be left in the dust. That's our promise to like how we do things.
And as we said, like all of the lawyers that are with them work with ICE. So
Yeah.
they know their regulation inside out. So they're not
Absolutely.
going to like do something here and here. And then all of a sudden you find yourself like a year later with like the wrong paperwork. So they literally work with ICE, they work with the government, and they're actually here to help everybody come in legally, contribute to like the American economy
Absolutely.
in a legal way. And that's what actually made me feel safe. And so I know a person said, what if you're already in the US as a Canadian and you need to renew your visa? You can use their services 100%. Instead of going to find, a lawyer here or a lawyer there that's not really familiar with the immigration process of Canada towards down.
That's right.
And I know you guys have a lot more plans because I saw a bunch of people from the UK to expand into like the Europeans, but now,
yes.
like for now, it's just Canadians.
We want to focus right now, to be
with the
honest,
Canadians,
to the Canadians because, essentially I came from there.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to give back in some way to help them out, right? Because I know how I felt up there. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it because not to mention for me, the weather was one of the biggest problems for me. I really couldn't stand the weather, but to have it compounded on top with all the bullshit with the politics and how high taxes and cost of living, it just didn't make any sense. I was unhappy. I'm going to tell you straight up, I've never been happier in my entire life since I've moved to Dallas, Texas.
Honestly,
Oh my God, the communities, the way the people are, they really go above and beyond and say, hey, you should join us. Hey, you should come out here.
Yeah.
We're having this out there, all this barbecue. I'm like,
I just got invited to a family Thanksgiving of a lady I just met talking. Like I went for a walk with my dog and I told her, I'm like, oh, we don't have any family down here. And she goes, well, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving? And I said, I don't know. We're just going to maybe hang out. She goes, oh, no, you're coming over.
yeah.
Like, so she's like, oh, do you want, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like,
It literally gives me goosebumps of how good it feels to be surrounded by people that are like, it feels like I'm going to be, how I can say it is, it feels like Canada back then.
Yes, that's what I keep saying. It feels like Canada in the 90s. Like, you guys remember Canada in the 90s where everybody was friendly, everybody was happy, like chipper, everybody wanted to help out before like the liberals all screwed us. Like, that's what the United States feels like.
Well, not all of the United States, just context on that. The Southern hospitality ones, the red states. Yeah. And I'm just picking Texas because I guess I'm biased right now and I really love Texas. Yes. But Florida's great. And Anthony's my partner here, just so you know, he's full blown for Florida. He's like Florida, no matter what. But we're leaving in 2 weeks and we're heading down to Florida to meet up with Anthony and everyone. We're going to do another one out there, just so you know. So we're going to do the same thing, but he's going to be on board. And then we're going to see Karen, which is one of our clients, which is the client that she brought on board with us. Yeah. And that's what I mean when I say you're not just like paying for a service, you're actually paying for a community. Because I know you had a client who wanted to go to Midland, Odessa, and they had kids and they wanted a school. So he texts me and says, hey, can you go check out some of the schools in Midland, Odessa? Yeah. On my free day, guess what I did? I went to a bunch of high schools and middle schools, and I was like, which one is better? Because I don't know anything about schools down there. And so I decided, hey, you know what? And I texted him. I'm like, these are the schools with the best programs for sports. These are this is this. If you need a club, I already know. I kind of set up people. And so now you get a bunch of other expats who want to actually help you out with like connections and all of that stuff. It's going to get bigger, just so you know. It's going to get much bigger. A lot more people are coming down, and they're starting to create this community of, Canadians that just fled because, reality wise, like, yes, there are people there that are fighting but you're fighting a battle you're basically fighting a giant that you can't even see. And just so you know. And half of Canadians are protecting that giant. But they're not protecting it willfully. It's like blindly. They don't know. The propaganda. Correct. Right? Like it's sad how blinded they are with the propaganda. But when you get out of Canada, just so you know, and we can tell you straight up, that's been lifted. It's like this veil that's lifted away out of our eyes. Honestly, we see. It's like the propaganda just goes away and you're like, oh wait, this is what real life is? Like, what was that then? And you start realizing, and I've been trying to communicate that without being too harsh to my audience, but I just get death threats. So I'm like, okay, whatever. That's cool. But the one reason why I'm doing this now is because 2 years ago, I told you guys that corporations were leaving Canada. And when corporations start leaving Canada, that means small businesses will follow. And when the small businesses go and the corporations, that means the talent will go. And unfortunately, with Carney, he's already gotten letters from the biggest corporations in Canada telling him that if he doesn't turn around with his policies, that all of them are leaving. So far, there's a huge oil company that's closing down in Alberta, and there's also a mill that's closing down in BC by the end of the year. And the reason why I'm saying this is if you have the means, you should probably look into leaving. Even if it's not for the United States, I think you should look into leaving because something big is coming down the pipeline, especially with the Liberals now rearranging to become a majority by siphoning the Conservatives to cross the floor. And I can see where this is headed down because as I've told you guys, like I've been through this, I've been through communism, I've been through a war, I've been through a refugee camp, and I don't want to see anybody go through that. So if you have the means to come down, or you don't even know if you have the means, give the Bridge Consulting, as I said. What's your website? It is move. So it's move, the number 2, theusa.com. And it's very easy to navigate now because before we had a very long one, but now we bought a domain that's a lot easier for people to search. We will be optimized a lot easier later on within a week. Once it's done, Google reviews, testimonials will be on there, but it's easy to navigate. But then once you're on it, it shows right in front and center, book a meeting, and then you could see it there. Like one thing I want to add to what she was saying right now is that Canada, Canada was great. It was. And it sucks knowing that, you have to pick up and leave. We all know that it does suck. But when a bad situation, is coming and it's going to affect your life, not to mention your children, how can you stay somewhere knowing the fact that it's going to affect your children? That's the one thing I did for my son. Because I realized up there was no support system up there for the school system anymore. There was lack of everything coming up. And honestly, I was kind of tired of it. So we made a decision. The school system here supports. And I saw one comment there saying about the Islamic in New York. Yes, that is why a lot of New Yorkers are leaving, and they're starting to jump ship to Texas, Arizona, and Florida. Just so you know, if you do pick Texas, there's no Sharia law here.
Yeah.
It has been banned. Abbott, the governor, is on board. He's made sure of it, that nothing like that exists in Texas.
And one thing you guys also have to realize is that the states here are almost their own little republics. So just because New York City is going to go down doesn't mean anybody else is going to affect it. So in Canada, when, you know, Manitoba does something, immediately the other provinces follow, right? If Toronto does something, immediately all the other cities follow. That is not the case in the United States. That is why we said in the beginning, definitely pick which state you want to go to. Do a lot of research where you will kind of jive with the people.
Have your personality.
Yeah, your personality. Like, I'm not going to take my lifted truck and my hillbilly ass to California. Like, you know what I mean? Or New York. Like,
you need to have it like bounce also.
Exactly. Like, people will throw shit at me and I don't blame them. You know, because like, that's just how it is. So if you are going to, it's to assimilate, right? Like, that's what we're all doing here. And like, trust me when I say Americans are 180 of what you're being told they are online and on TV. They are friendly, they're welcoming. They've been nothing but like gracious and amazing and helpful. And some of them will even apologize. And I'm like, no, please don't apologize. You don't know the mess that we're in.
Is that yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, like, I just went to the shooting range.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to go to the shooting range together, but my husband didn't feel well, so like we didn't go. But he went alone, and I'm like, we should have gone.
I went to go shoot a 357 Magnum, you know, the one, the revolver, and the amount of help that they gave me, like everything, just yes sir, yes sir, just, yes sir. Like it felt assertive, very good, you know, and they wanted to help you, and they want to make sure that you're a good marksmanship, you're able to shoot proper and get you going. Actually, I wanted to show you my. I have a thing that I shot.
Oh, like that.
It shows Putin and Kim Jong-un. Oh. It was a picture of them, and I shot perfect.
That's perfect, dude. Like, oh my gosh. No, honestly, like I know a lot of people are like, and even if you're wondering, like, even if you have like some questions, all I say is, hey, you know what? Book the consultation, ask your questions. They'll know a lot more. Like, they're in contact with the lawyers. As I said, are like the lawyers that they're using, that I'm using, all work with ICE. So basically they know the laws and the rules in the United States and what is needed and what you need, so that there will absolutely be no issues in the future with your visa or any sort of retraction away. So I will also put your link in my Facebook and on Instagram and on X, because right now we're live. And if you guys want, again, my link tree, but please repeat the website, because I know a lot of people.
Okay, so our website is theusa.com. And I want to just give a little bit more on one thing on the appointments here. When you do a consultation with us, a lot of people love the fact that we're very personal. We're personable. We're able to talk to you properly. We're not just like cold corporate kind of people. And you do get our time. Like, time at the end of the day, the reason why we charge, because in the beginning, we started doing a little bit like free consultations, but we weren't getting that real personable level, because we made 20 minutes and we weren't getting that much information, and people are wasting a lot of the time because they were not really engaging with us at the same time. But when someone's serious about moving, they're going to pay a $250, knowing that the fact that they're going to take that off the major program after. So it's something for your future. It's not like we're asking hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's literally like every other lawyers out there. Lawyers charge more just for 30 minutes at that point, just to give you an example of how they operate. And they will make sure that if your questions are not there, they won't answer your questions, and they won't be all friendly and nice.
Yeah. So my thing with a lawyer was $300 for 15 minutes. I called and yeah, everything. And then when it came to, okay, well, I need the help. Oh, well, I need to book an appointment, and that appointment is a month and a half. It's like, dude, my visa's like on hold right now. Like, I don't know what to do. And they don't care. And so with you guys, everything is so personable. First of all, you get to know the people, right? They tell you exactly what they can, what they can't. And then you guys go, well, I don't think you have a path, or I think you guys have a path.
We'll tell you right away.
Yeah, he'll tell you right away. He'll tell you, hey, listen, there's no path for you. Like, I am really sorry. Maybe try a European country or whatever. They're not here to siphon your money or like, you know, steal it and just waste your time. Like I have had with so many other lawyers, which by the way, I cry internally about every single night over a bottle of wine, but it's okay because now we're good and now we're safe. And now I'm not like sweating stress all the time. So if you guys have any other questions, we will have another podcast in Florida.
Absolutely.
With your business partner.
Anthony Pagliuso. You're going to see him probably in the comments right now, and he's just full tilt on it, and he's an amazing guy. He's the other part of me where I'm more of the logistics and, you know, more personable, but he's the financial area, which kind of perfectly, you know, meshes together.
It was so
it's
good.
like the yin and yang.
And like the amount of questions I had, because I didn't know anything of down here about like the difference between LLC, S Corp, all of that. And I'm like, what? And he answered all of my questions. Like, it was insane. Like we were on a Zoom call and he's like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I need to set up a business. Like, you know what I mean? And he's like, oh, you don't want to do this. You want to do this because of this. And I'm like, dude, awesome. Yes, please. Not even 2 weeks later, I get my certificate in the mail. Now I'm like legitimate. And so it was the smoothest thing ever, to the point where I would wake up and try and pinch myself. I'm like, wait, did this actually happen?
She was happy. So, it was amazing. Like, I was like, this is, and it's crazy because I used to see her before. I used to see her and I followed her and I loved her whole personality. And then when it turned out to be that she's found us, it was like a match made in heaven, and we were able to help her. It was just absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like, we felt amazing for this.
And that's why, as I said, like, I do not push anything on my page that I do not try or do not do myself. So when I said, you know, it's time, I think you guys should like look into leaving the United States, that's because we were leaving. Now that we've done it and we've got the experience, I didn't want to give you guys any bad advice. You know what I mean? I didn't want to point you to a lawyer that half-ass helped me. Even the products that I try, like, there are things that I actually try. If it doesn't work, I don't tell you guys about them. Like,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
I know that about you.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm over here, I'm like, this works. No, like, here you guys.
She's very blunt, and the amount of time I've known her so far, that she's very straightforward. Like, she'll tell you right to your face if she doesn't like you.
It's so true.
It's that simple.
So
like,
it's like the little bit of Slavic, the little bit of tits.
But that's what you want.
I mean?
You don't want that fakeness. That's the one thing I love, is the fact that you're not fake.
Thank you.
Like people should just stop having this sensitive act.
Yeah, like just tell people, you know what I mean? It saves everybody time. It saves
everybody money. It's better to have someone talk to your face than behind your back.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
And so with me, at least, you know, I won't talk behind your back, because I'll tell you to your face exactly what I think. If I like you or I don't like you, whatever, it's all going to be in your face, not behind your back. And again, if you guys want to see this podcast right now, when we log off, it will kind of reset itself and you guys can watch it from the beginning, but I will also have it posted on my Rumble page. I know I kind of promised that with my last 2 podcasts, but this one I'll actually do it because I've got days off. I was just fucking around last time. So yeah, this time I'll actually do it. And if I don't, remind me, and then just but I know he's going to remind me. So if you guys have any questions, I will also go through my comment section tonight. I will try and answer as many as I can. If I don't get to it, if I make a new video tomorrow, ask me there and I will go through all of them and I will answer them for you guys. And I will also leave the link in my link tree, which is the US.com, USA.com. Sorry, yeah. USA.com. I had to burp. That's so embarrassing. Like, hey, at least I'm being honest. Okay. Yeah. Somebody asked me, what would you do if you farted on a podcast once? And I said, I would literally log off and then go live in a cave and I would never come out of shame. So thankfully that hasn't happened.
You know what?
So,
the thing is, you know, it's all fun and games. It's jokes. We have fun. It's more natural this way, but when it all comes down to it, when we talk to you, we're very serious. We make sure that everything does the right way and properly, really because we bank on the fact that you guys are going to get the best experience and come down. My cat likes to come here and
it's okay. Her name is Polly Pocket. You guys want to meet her? She was adopted here. Look how freaking cute she is. Her name is Polly Pocket. At least it's not my cats that are in the way, because usually every time I do a podcast, I know. But like every time I do a podcast, my dogs are either like drinking, licking, or like my cat or whatever. So I'm glad that it's not my cat this time. But anyways, honestly, Sandro, it was amazing meeting you. I feel so blessed. I'm so glad that like we met and that we connected. And
you're stuck with me, by the way.
Oh, I don't, even if you didn't want me to be stuck, I'll be stuck anyway, voluntarily or not.
Absolutely.
So if you guys have any questions, let me know. And if you guys want, book a consultation, go to their website, book a consultation. Trust me, you will not regret it. And if you guys have any more questions, I will absolutely answer those. And we'll also have another podcast with his business partner, Anthony.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, and we'll do it from Florida. So, and you'll also meet some of the people that are also on board with the program who are using Sandra and Anthony and the Bridge Consulting. And that way you guys can kind of get another perspective of other people using them as well. And they're also like huge in the freedom community. So you probably have met them or seen them in some of the, I guess freedom like things, and also online as well. So I want to say thank you all for coming out. Thank you, Sandro, for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
And I want everybody to have an awesome rest of your Saturday and a great rest of the weekend. And if you guys have any questions, again, hit me up in the comment section or go to my link tree, and we will definitely in 2 weeks have another podcast, and I will go through a bunch of the comments just to see if there's any questions that kind of come up a lot, and then we can kind of go through those.
Yeah, we'll attack those questions. I will gladly put a lot of time into it because I've been seeing a lot of the questions come up, and I really want to answer them, but it's pretty short timing right now, right? But
exactly. And we went over like half an hour, but I don't care because there's a lot of information, good information, and I know people need the help, and I don't want people getting screwed like we both did with like
listen, I want to answer as much as possible, and I really do, and I see a lot of them that are able to be answered properly. So again, we'll try to answer as much as we can.
Absolutely. Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you guys. Everybody have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow where I make one of my bitchin' ass videos again where I'm probably going to get death threats and people calling me a bunch of names, but I don't give a shit because I'm dead inside, so that doesn't hurt my feelings. But anyways, I love you guys. Love you always, and stay good. Be good this weekend.
Have a good weekend. Cheers.
See ya.
Ciao.
Bye.